ちょっと近づいただけで。
Normally, every medium likes to draw a line between those PG-13 shows and the more mature shows, but anime always breaks the rules, blurs the lines, and either makes a total disaster that would end up in a huge controversy, or create a show that uses its ecchi elements to make an interesting premise, and then keep the viewers hooked. Today, we're going to speak of the latter category, so here are 10 new adult mature anime that you should be watching right now.
2文字の言葉なのに私にはひどく重い。
Number 10. Eternity. Sweet love story. Let's kick things off with a show that went too far. When an anime goes too far, you know what happens. But Eternity's sweet love story still knows how to keep the pacing and story intact, even when it's dealing with its themes. It is obvious the show is geared towards a female audience and presents itself as a less creepy and more realistic show. It's based on the Eternity Books manga label, and does a good job adapting the stories of the source material. You won't find anything in terms of story here, but you'll get plenty in terms of the ecchi factor. Eternity's sweet love story is also sometimes very heartwarming, which is of course very difficult to find in this niche of anime.
星や、それ終わったら杉山のブローのヘルプ行って。
Number 9. No Yubi De Midareru. You know the story, it's the cute girl and the stern manager. God knows how many times Wattpad fanfiction have adapted this story, but anime sure knows how to put a fresh spin on the trope and present the story as something unique. Okay, when I meant story, I didn't mean the plot. I meant the plot. The anime follows Fumi Hoshiya, who wants to own a beauty salon and the troubles she has to face while achieving her goal. It is both a fresh and unique take and adds a lot of reality to the characters and doesn't make them complete cardboard cutouts. The story is also very interesting to watch once you get the hang of it. Number 8. Monster Girl Doctor. When you hear the name Monster Girl, you know where the show is heading. It is another one of those ecchi tropes the writers never get tired of. And just like the writers, there are plenty of viewers to watch these too. Unlike the previous Monster Girl show, this time our main character is a doctor, so that means everything you need to know is presented to you right in that hospital room. The story compared to our previous anime is pretty great, and you'll find a very enjoyable adventure as long as you don't go in expecting deep literary characters and a story with a lot of twists and turns. This might not have reached the controversial levels of Interspecies Reviewers, but it was still a good contender. Who thought anime writers could craft an ecchi anime out of firefighters? No, this isn't the adult-friendly version of Fire Force, because no one is going to spew fire. But Yubisaki kara Honki no netsujo, osanajimi wa shouboshi. Again, the story is burned to ashes to proceed with the anime. But at the same time, Yubisaki kara Honki no netsujo knows how to craft a realistic story compared to many other anime on this list. Our main character is Ryo Fujihashi, and she soon finds out that the firefighter who came to save her from her burning building is her childhood friend Soma Mizuno, and the two tangle up in a romance-filled comedy love story that you can binge watch anytime. Number 6. Jimihen. What happens when the shy girl you invited for a drink acts totally different? It sounds like the female version of the Tokyo Ghoul scenario, right? Jimihen deals with a lot of personality issues while adding a subtle touch of ecchi to it. Rena Yukihashi is a girl who looks like a shy and quiet office secretary during the office hours, but when her co-worker invites her for a drink, she arrives in a totally different appearance. The two's relationship gradually develops, and now they need to keep it hidden, away from the rest of the office staff. Jimihen offers plenty of NSFW tropes your way, but it still knows how to keep you hooked with its raunchy humor. Number 5. Dogeza de Tandodemita. What happens when you grovel on the floor and ask a woman to strip? I know it's one of those weird anime concepts that some anime producers thought was a better idea, but the problem with this anime is that even though it has an interesting concept, the art and animation are not very much up to the standard. But if we ignore that, you can follow the adventures of Subaru Doge, who wants nothing but to grovel in front of every woman with lewd requests. The show's got a fresh variety of episodes that will appease a lot of fans of the genre, which is one of the reasons why it got so popular when it was released. It's not a family-friendly comedy show, but you'll get some great laughs watching it. Number 4. Peter Grill and the Philosopher's Time. Normally, fantasy is filled with overpowered virtuous heroes. Peter Grill is such an overpowered virtuous hero, but the problem is the women around him. He is destined to marry beautiful and innocent Lovalia Sankotos, despite the misgivings of her father. But Peter's female friends are also interested in becoming his partner. It is one of those harem anime where every girl in the show chases after the main character, but the comedic factor of the episode still manages to make it look refreshing. Peter Grill may not have the best luck when it comes to women, but at least his destined mistress is nice and honest. If you want the ecchi adventures of a fantasy hero that's failed, then this is the anime for you. Number 3. Megami-ryou no Ryoubo-kun. Managing a dormitory on your own isn't easy, is it? But when you are only a high schooler and you have to manage the household of 5 female university students, you know that's when you've got to draw the line. But Nagami Kosh doesn't draw the line because he just lost his parents and he badly needs a place to live. Now he becomes the dorm mother of the dorm and tries to fulfill the strange desires of its inmates. One of them needs him as her guinea pig, the other needs to cosplay with him, and another wants him to be his marital arts buddy. The anime was released this season, so if the episodes aren't enough for you, then you can always go ahead and read the manga. Number 2. Redo of Healer. We saved the 2 top spots for the most controversial shows released in recent times. And when speaking of controversial, you cannot forget Redo of Healer. Let's admit it, anime likes to give us the anti-hero types, and there's always that one line every main character is afraid to cross. But Keiaruga has no lines, no boundaries, and no morals to stop him. He's walking chaos, motivated by revenge, and forgiveness isn't even in his vocabulary. The even more funnier fact is how the revenge tale slowly turns into a harem. Watching the first 2 episodes will give you a good idea of why this is classified as a mature anime, but if you want revenge with no boundaries, then the next anime, and the top anime, should be your next one to watch. Number 1. Interspecies Reviewers. I'm sure Interspecies Reviewers needs no introduction. It was the anime that turned the tables on many famous anime, and was close enough to throw Full Metal Alchemist off the top spot. A bunch of guys reviewing brothels seems to be a major premise in the anime industry, and this anime went to the headlines due to its controversy alone. If it's not getting obvious to you by now, this show has massive amounts of fan service, and that makes the anime blur the line between anime and hentai. But if you look at all of that from a different perspective, you'll see how this single anime with a weird premise can also be a great raunchy comedy adventure. So there goes the 10 new adult mature anime that you should be watching alone in your room. As usual, if you enjoyed the anime, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification so you can get an update whenever we release a new video. Stay safe, anime fans, and I'll see you in the next one.